Last week, I received a $15,000 payment from a client. The money arrived in my account instantly with only $1.53 in fees. No waiting period, no holds, and no bank approval needed. How? I got paid in Bitcoin. And this single transaction completely changed how I think about getting paid as a business owner. And in this video, I'm gonna show you why every entrepreneur, agency owner, and coach should seriously consider getting paid in Bitcoin instead of dollars. And if you're new here, my name is Brian Moncada. I'm the founder of adspin.com, and we help coaches, consultants, course creators, and agency owners scale using YouTube ads and AI systems. But today, I wanna talk about something that's revolutionizing my business behind the scenes, which is getting paid in Bitcoin. I've been converting my business profits to Bitcoin for a while now, as I've shared in previous videos. But recently, I've taken it a step further by actually asking my clients to pay me in Bitcoin. And the experience has been eye-opening, to say the very least. Let me tell you two quick stories that perfectly illustrate why Bitcoin payments are superior. First story. I recently decided to sell my Rolex Day-Date presidential watch, which I originally bought for $50,000 as a milestone reward when my business hit 7 figures. But as I've gotten deeper into Bitcoin, I realized I'd rather have that value stored in Bitcoin than sitting on my wrist. So I found a luxury watch dealer here in Miami who offered to pay me only $35,000 for it, which definitely hurt. And just proved to me that although people will tell you luxury watches are good investments, in my case, I lost $15,000 on that investment. But here's where it gets interesting. When we agreed on the deal, 35. I asked him if he could pay me in Bitcoin. His response, no way, I don't sell my Bitcoin, I stash it. I don't even look at it. I just look at it every few years. I don't even know what the price is.
And now, to be honest with you, I don't even know how much I have.
Think about that for a second. This watch dealer, who deals in luxury watches traditionally considered good stores of value, refused to part with his Bitcoin to buy my Rolex. He wanted to pay me in dollars instead, even though he accepts Bitcoin as payment. That should tell you everything you need to know about which asset is actually more valuable and more scarce. So instead, he asked if I wanted a wire transfer or a check, and I went with the check, and guess what? It took 4 days for the bank to clear it. 4 days where I couldn't access my money because the bank detected a potential risk with the deposit. Now compare that with my second story. A new client who came to work with me wanted to pay me to help him scale his coaching business with ads on YouTube, which is a $15,000 upfront investment to work with me. And he asked if he could wire me the money since he was getting a new credit card for his business at the time. And I said, sure. So I sent him my wire details, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, the bank declined the transaction and I couldn't receive the money. And as we were texting, I mentioned that he could also pay me in Bitcoin, and he was immediately interested. So I sent him an invoice with my Bitcoin address, and a few minutes later, he had sent me the full payment. The moment he sent the transaction, I received a notification on my phone. I opened my Bitcoin wallet, and there it was. $15,000 worth of Bitcoin already in my wallet. The entire transaction only cost him about $1.53 in network fees. Same week, 2 transactions. One took 4 days and required bank approval. The other was instant with minimal fees. That's when it really clicked for me. The traditional financial system is holding entrepreneurs and business owners like us back in ways we've just normalized. So after seeing this firsthand and experiencing it myself, I tweeted this: if you're not accepting Bitcoin as a payment in your business yet, what the F are you doing? Stripe fees on a $15K payment, $435.50. Wire fees on a $15K payment, $30. And fees for someone to send me $15,000 in BTC equals only $1.43. And I get the money almost instantly. Pay me in BTC, aka pay me in Bitcoin. Let's be honest about the problems with traditional payment systems that we've all just accepted as being normal in business. First, there's the waiting. As entrepreneurs and business owners, we're used to moving fast, but our payment systems are stuck in the 1970s. ACH transfers take days. International wires can take a week or more. Even instant payments often have hidden holds. My Rolex sale is the perfect example. The dealer wrote me a check for $35,000 and Capital One detected a potential risk and delayed the availability of the entire amount for 4 days. 4 days where I couldn't access my own money. And this wasn't some random person. This was a legitimate business transaction with a reputable dealer. Then there are the fees. Payment processors like Stripe take upwards of 2.5 to even 3.5% on every single transaction in your business. That might not sound like much, but for a business doing $2.4 million per year like mine did last year, that's nearly $70,000 gone, not for ads, not for team, not for growth, just Stripe fees. Not to mention, there's also the risk of chargebacks and disputes. I've had clients in the past who paid, received the service, and then disputed the charge months later. The bank almost always sides with the customer, leaving you fighting for getting paid for work you've already delivered. And let's not forget account freezes. I've heard horror stories from other agency owners who've had their payment processors and accounts frozen for 90 plus days while they review the business if it's legitimate, with no access to their money during that time. Could your business survive if your revenue was suddenly locked up for 3 months? Are you crazy? These aren't just minor inconveniences. These are serious risks on your business that we've just normalized in business. But Bitcoin fixes this. So, what are the specific benefits of getting paid in Bitcoin as an entrepreneur and a business owner? First, immediate access to capital. When a client pays you in Bitcoin, you have the money instantly, not in 3 to 5 days, not after a hold period, immediately. This improves your cash flow and gives you more flexibility in your business operations. Just like my $15,000 client payment, I had access to those funds within minutes, not days. Second, being paid in Bitcoin dramatically lowers transaction costs. As I showed you with my $15,000 example, that fee was only $1.43. That's 0.01% compared to the 3% you'd pay with the credit card processor. And for larger payments, the difference in fees is even more dramatic. Third, global payments without the hassle. If you work with international clients like I do, you know the pain of currency conversion fees, international wire costs, and payment delays. With Bitcoin, it doesn't matter if your client is in Miami or Malaysia. The payment works exactly the same. Fourth, you're protected from inflation. This is something I've talked about in my previous videos, but I want to repeat it here again for you. When you get paid in dollars, you're getting paid in a currency that's literally designed to lose value over time. Here's a tweet from Anthony Pompliano that demonstrates this perfectly. The US dollar has lost nearly 30% of its purchasing power since 2020. 1/3 of your savings has been destroyed in half a decade. The silent destruction of a generation. But when you get paid in Bitcoin, you're getting paid in the hardest money ever created with a fixed supply of only 21 million coins. And remember my watch dealer, right? He wouldn't pay me with his Bitcoin to buy my Rolex. That's because he understands something fundamental. Bitcoin is more scarce and more valuable to hold than dollars. When someone refuses to pay you in Bitcoin, but is happy to pay you in dollars, that tells you everything about which one is more valuable. Fifth, and this is something I didn't actually expect, but doing this actually attracts a certain type of high quality client. The clients who pay me in Bitcoin tend to be more tech savvy, more forward thinking, and frankly, a lot easier to work with. They understand value and are willing to invest in quality. So how do you actually start accepting Bitcoin payments in your business? Well, it's actually pretty simple. A lot simpler than you might think it is. And by the way, I am still figuring this out myself in my business. So this isn't financial or tax advice, okay? I'm just sharing what's working for me so far to hopefully help you. Step 1, okay, you gotta get a Bitcoin wallet. I recommend getting one for your personal holdings and a separate one for your business. You can also set up a business account on exchanges like Coinbase if you'd like, but I personally just recommend setting up your own wallet for yourself to have access to it. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube showing you which wallets are better than the others, and you can watch those and make a decision that makes the most sense for you. Step 2 is letting people know you actually accept Bitcoin. For example, I just add a line to my invoice that says Bitcoin accepted, and I give them a 1-page PDF that gives them my wallet address. So for example, here's a Google Doc that I send to my clients. As you can see, it literally has my wallet address right here for them to give me the Bitcoin instantly. As well as if they want to pay me in other different payment options and alternatives, they can do the wire transfer, they can do PayPal if they want, but obviously Bitcoin's at the very top because that's what I want to emphasize to get paid in first. And I'm sure there's more professional ways to do this, but right now, I'm just keeping it stupid simple. I'm letting people know they can pay me in Bitcoin, and I'm giving them my wallet address to pay me in Bitcoin. Step 3 is figuring out what you'll do once you get paid. I personally, again, keep a few months of operating expenses in dollars and convert the rest into Bitcoin. That way I've got cash to run my business, and I'm also stacking Bitcoin long term, but you've got to do what feels right for your risk tolerance. Step 4 is helping clients understand how it works. Most people haven't ever paid anybody in Bitcoin before. So I made a simple one-pager I send them along with that PDF that walks them through it. Surprisingly, a lot of clients are open to it, want to explain it simply. And I always offer credit card or bank payments as well, like I showed you in step 2. Now, let's address some common concerns you might have about accepting Bitcoin payments. What about the volatility? Yes, Bitcoin's price fluctuates. It goes up and it sometimes goes down. If this concerns you, you can convert a portion to dollars immediately upon getting the Bitcoin. Personally, I view volatility as an opportunity rather than a risk, especially when Bitcoin's long-term trajectory is aimed of about $1 million per coin on a very conservative estimate. What about taxes? Bitcoin payments are treated as property for tax purposes, so you'll need to record the fair market value of the Bitcoin when you receive it in terms of US dollars, and this becomes your cost basis. When you sell or spend it, you'll calculate capital gains or losses, and I recommend just working with a crypto-savvy accountant to help you with this. And also, again, making sure you have a separate wallet for specifically your business address and Bitcoin payments. Will clients actually pay in Bitcoin? Some will, some won't. But offering them the option sets you apart and attracts forward-thinking clients. And again, the answer is always no unless you ask. And then help them. Help them pay you. Make it easier for them, because the more people that you actually orange pill yourself, your friends, your family, your colleagues, your peers, other business owners like you that want to pay you to work with you, the better it is for the Bitcoin network as a whole, and for more importantly, the world, because this money is actually true money. It's scarce, it can't be replicated, can't be duplicated, can't be manipulated, and you'll obviously help them be onto Bitcoin just like you and me to protect their future family's savings. Is it complicated? Of course, there's obviously a small learning curve, but it's much simpler than most people think. If you can use a banking app, you can open up your own Bitcoin wallet. And the benefits far outweigh the initial setup time, especially for avoiding $70,000 in payment processor fees and growing your long-term savings. Look, getting paid in Bitcoin has genuinely changed how I think about business finances. That $15,000 payment I received with virtually zero fees and instant settlement was a wake-up call for me, especially compared to waiting for 4 days for my $35,000 Rolex check to clear. And think about that watch dealer, a guy who literally deals in luxury goods all day, traditionally seen as stores of value, refused to part with his Bitcoin to pay me. That should tell you something profound about where we're heading. As entrepreneurs, we're always looking for edges, ways to operate more efficiently, reduce costs, and position ourselves for the future. Bitcoin payments offer all of these advantages, but start small if you need to. Okay, maybe just add the option to your invoices and see if any clients express interest, or try it with a smaller payment first to get comfortable with the process. But I'd encourage you to at least explore this option for your business, because in a world where traditional financial systems are becoming increasingly restrictive, expensive, and slow, Bitcoin offers business owners a powerful alternative. And ask yourself this: as AI continues to rise, do you really think they'll be paying for things using checks, credit cards, or wire transfers? My guess is no. They'll probably be using crypto. And if you're already accepting Bitcoin as payments in your business, let me know your experience doing so in the comments below. And lastly, if you're a coach, consultant, course creator, or agency owner who's looking to automate your client acquisition for your business using ads and AI systems, click the first link in the description to join my school community and get access to our free YouTube Ads mini course, and join 3,000 plus other entrepreneurs and business owners like you scaling with ads that actually convert. If you want to learn why I personally save 100% of my money in Bitcoin as an entrepreneur, you can go ahead and watch this video next. I'll see you there. Cheers.